Imagine you are given 10 years to build the greatest company you can imagine. You are intelligent, hardworking, and creative, maybe even more talented than most people around you. Now imagine that someone else is given the exact same challenge. Same 10 years, same intelligence, same ambition. But there is one difference. Before the race begins, they are handed a map, a mentor, a safety net, a network of powerful people, financial support, confidence, and 100-second chances. You get none of it. So, who wins? Most of us grow up believing the answer is simple. The harder worker wins, the smarter person wins, the more deserving person wins. But look around. The world doesn't seem to work that way. Some of the most intelligent people never become successful. Some of the hardest working people struggle their entire lives, and some people seem to move through life as if invisible doors keep opening in front of them. Why? Because life is not a test. It's a competition, and every competition is influenced by starting conditions. Imagine two children born on the same day. One grows up in a family that values education. Books fill the house. Mistakes are treated as lessons. Their parents know people who can offer internships, guidance, and opportunities. The other child grows up worrying about bills. Maybe they need to work while studying. Maybe they become responsible for siblings. Maybe every decision is made under financial pressure. 20 years later, society compares their outcomes as if they started from the same place. Any university, any employer, any opportunity they apply for will judge them based almost entirely on the outcome of those 20 years. The struggles, disadvantages, responsibilities, and obstacles that shape the journey often become invisible. And suddenly, what looks like a fair competition becomes a deeply unfair game. But they didn't. One was climbing a staircase, the other was climbing a mountain. This doesn't mean effort is irrelevant. Effort matters, talent matters, discipline matters, but they exist inside a larger system. A brilliant idea means little if nobody hears it. Talent develops faster when a mentor guides it. Confidence grows when failure is affordable. Risk-taking becomes easier when falling doesn't destroy your future. Think about entrepreneurship. People often admire successful founders for taking huge risks, but very few people stop to examine the hidden variables behind that success. The uncomfortable reality is that many successful entrepreneurs come from families with financial resources, social capital, influential networks, or prior business experience. In those environments, failure is often a setback, not a catastrophe. They can afford to take risks because the consequences of failure are fundamentally different. Now imagine someone equally talented supporting parents, paying rent, carrying debt, and living paycheck to paycheck. Can they take the same risk? Maybe. But the cost of failure is completely different. The same decision that looks courageous for one person can be catastrophic for another. And that's why success stories can be misleading. We see the winner. We don't see the thousands of invisible variables that help them get there. The teacher who believed in them, the mentor who answered a phone call, the friend who introduced them to the right person, the city they happened to grow up in, the timing of a market, the economic conditions, their health, their family, their luck. And yes, luck is real. Not because effort doesn't matter, but because effort alone doesn't control outcomes. Luck is the name we give to the countless factors outside our control that shape our lives. The family you were born into, the country you were born in, the decade you were born in, the opportunities that crossed your path, the people who chose to help you, the crises you never experienced, the disasters you barely avoided. Every successful life is partly a story of choices, but it is also a story of circumstances, a story of timing, a story of probability, a story of luck. The combination of all these factors is your luck. And perhaps the greatest illusion we are taught is that success belongs entirely to those who deserve it. Because if that were true, every hardworking person would be rich. Every brilliant person would be famous. Every kind person would be rewarded. Yet reality tells a different story. Life is not fair. It never has been. But understanding that can be strangely liberating, because it means your struggles are not always evidence of your inadequacy. Sometimes you are fighting battles others never had to fight. Sometimes you are carrying weights others never had to carry. And sometimes survival itself is an achievement. The people who succeed are not always the smartest, not always the hardest working, not always the most deserving. They are often the people who possess a powerful combination of ability, opportunity, support, timing, and luck. An equation with thousands of variables. And perhaps true wisdom is realizing that before judging anyone's success or failure, we should remember something simple. Nobody gets to choose the hand they are dealt. They only choose how they play it. And in a game with billions of players and infinite variables, that hand matters far more than most of us are willing to admit.